Yeah.
I shall have to let go, and that would spoil me. It didn't exactly miss.